you be mine? Would you be mine? I hope I get to move in your neighborhood someday. The problem is when I move in, y'all move away. Come on up with some coke and some smoke. You bring the stash, go Robinson broke. Will you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I am still your neighbor.
Well, good morning, everyone. This morning, I've declared a state of emergency in the province of Ontario. We're facing an unprecedented time in our history. This is a decision that was not made lightly. COVID-19 constitutes a danger of major proportions. We're taking this measure because we must offer our full support and every power possible to help our healthcare sector fight the spread of COVID-19. The first order under this declaration will be the prohibition of organized public events of over 50 people, including parades and events and services within places of worship until March the 31st. Secondly, the following establishments are closed effective immediately until March the 31st. All facilities providing indoor recreational programs, all public libraries, all private schools as defined in the Education Act, all licensed child care centers, all bars and restaurants, except to the extent that such facilities provide takeout food and delivery. All theaters, including those offering live performances of music, dance, and other art forms, as well as cinemas that show movies and concert venues. Again, this order will come into effect immediately. I want to be very clear about what this means and what this doesn't mean. This is not a provincial shutdown.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mr. MonStar's neighborhood. We used to do this in the past. We are back, radio style. We have a awesome microphone that we're going to use and take advantage of, and do this radio style. So I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a day in our neighborhood. Everything's getting shut down besides essential services. Let's go. We're better off to go through the list of stuff that is still open. Essential things, meaning grocery stores, pharmacies, like gas stations, banks. What else? What am I missing here? They said restaurants are open. That
pharmacies
just for delivery though, delivery or takeout.
Yes.
Stuff like that. So that's what's happening here. Hello, Wally. Hello, everybody in the chat. Welcome.
Hello, welcome everybody.
Talk to the masses while I find stuff.
Oh, right. I'm also doing something here too. We're both.
We're just getting organized.
Yeah.
So we can go through some stuff with you guys. It might not be in order. It doesn't have to be in order. But it'll happen.
Yeah, so we got some stuff coming up. We're going to be talking about Tom Brady. Oh my gosh. We're going to be talking about COVID-19, the coronavirus. And we're also going to be talking some of the NFL changes that have been underway. There have been many free agency picks. Basically, my Instagram feed is all NFL stuff.
Pretty much.
basically.
That's what's going on. So go ahead, pick something out of the list, and we'll do our thing here. How's everybody doing? What do you guys think of Tom Brady? Let's start off with Brady, since you mentioned it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something else, but because I just went on Instagram here to go see something, and as you all might know, Tom Hanks and his wife both tested positive in Australia.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad stuff.
And Tom Hanks put on his Instagram 19 minutes ago, "Hey folks, good news. 1 week after testing positive in self-isolation, the symptoms are much the same. No fever, but the blaz. Folding the laundry and doing the dishes leads to a nap on the couch. Bad news. My wife has won 6 straight hands of gin rummy and leads by 201 points. But I have learned not to spread my Vegemite so thick. I traveled here with a typewriter, one I used to love. We are all in this together. Flatten the curve. Hanks."
It's true. We're all in this together, people. Common sense stuff, as we learned. Social distancing is a big thing. What else? Wash your hands, sneeze into your elbow, and stay away from larger groups, 50 and up. They're saying, but,
Yeah.
you know.
And I watched on Dr. Phil today. He had some people on, and the one girl, I forget who exactly she was, but she was saying, she's like, yeah, your hands are the vessels. Your hands are what because that's what touches everything and everything like that. And make sure you wash your hands. Don't touch your face and everything like that. But she had a really good analogy for it. She was like, the way I explained it to my kids, she said, is picture that someone coughs up or sneezes and there's blue paint. It's blue paint everywhere. You can't see the blue paint, but there's blue paint everywhere. You touch the same surface, you have blue paint on your hands. So make sure you don't touch your face because you can get the blue paint on your face and it goes in your lungs, and you don't want that because the blue paint is bad. And I'm just like, basically, yeah.
So pretty much common sense stuff, but
Yeah.
not at the... We subconsciously, like, we wipe our faces all the time without even realizing.
Like, let's go back to kindergarten when you had... Did anybody else... Because we had this where it was...
Where you ate paint chips or what?
No.
Oh.
No.
Are the Play-Doh?
No.
Are you saying Play-Doh's like a... Is eating Play-Doh like what's going to solve all this, you think, maybe?
Eating... I can't. Oh, when I was a kid,
maybe
I
it's
loved
like
the smell
a
of Play-Doh.
vaccination or something.
Vaccination.
Okay, nobody hire me.
But, like, it was this thing called... Oh, I forget. It was like the germ bug or something like that. And it was like this black light thing that you could put your hands underneath. And you put on this UV lotion. And then you washed your hands. And you look back underneath to see what areas you missed on your hands. So that was very interesting. And then it's to, like, show, like, how much you actually miss when you do wash your hands. So you could get better washing your hands and, like, get the areas that you notice that you missed.
Well, that's cool.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
There's a local Chinese restaurant in town. It's a great. I would say top 3 in town. We live in a city in the middle of Canada, 115,000 people. There is per capita per 100 people. We have a crap load of Mr. Chinese. Or not Mr. Chinese, but Chinese restaurants in general. And this one of the top 5 is giving free masks. We have tons of N95 masks. If anyone needs or thinks they would like a pack of 2, please do not panic. We are in this together. Yes, people, remember, we are in this together. Nobody panic. I know it's hard. As things get more dire and more gloom and doom and dark, I know it's hard to keep that way, but we have to stay positive, people. That's the best we could do. Speaking of Chinese, I'm going to go to the other story. There's a Chinese billionaire. We're going to jump all over the place. We're not going in order. Chinese billionaire Jack Ma began shipment and test of kits and masks to the U.S. That's amazing that where the whole coronavirus originated. There's a billionaire from China, that's giving away. He's a co-founder of e-commerce giant, and one of the richest men is shipped a bunch of stuff from the airport in Shanghai. He was donating 500,000 tests, including 1 million masks to the U.S. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
that's wild stuff. And what else can I say about this? Here's a little bonus story for you. It's part sports related, also part coronavirus related. Sorry if I'm not seeing anybody in the chat. I don't have the chat in front of me because I'm doing stuff, so I can't acknowledge anybody in the chat. Welcome everybody. If I missed anybody.
Welcome Brandon, BC.
BC's in the house.
BC, we got Wally. I believe I seen Leedy in the chat as well.
Toronto's 5 prominent sports organizations have teamed together. This is a little bonus one I'm throwing in here to create a special assistance fund for event staff affected by the suspension of all major sports in Toronto. Did you know that?
No.
There's a Team Toronto fund announced Sunday. A joint statement by the Blue Jays, Maple Leafs, Raptors, Toronto FC, and Argonauts. They're all getting together, and they're starting a fund for. It's going to assist arena, stadium support staff, like all the small little people, all the Joe Averages, all the Joe Blows that have bills to pay and families, like the janitor, you know what I mean, concession stand people. It's awesome that they're all getting together. The statement says that the team management, coaches, players from all 5 teams will contribute to the fund to provide additional aid to many workers that support them each and every day and night. So what do you guys think of that? I think that's a feel-good story in a bad time. That shows if you got the resources, you can step up and help humanity. I love that story. What do you think of that? What's your opinion of the whole thing?
I'm trying to kind of blanked out because I'm trying to, but Artur, how's it going, Artur? Artur's in the chat.
Artur, how you doing?
Artur's in the know.
What do you think of that, Artur? All the 5 different sports teams, Argonauts, Toronto, like all the 5 major Toronto sports teams getting together, and the management and the staff and the players getting together, starting funds for the lower level people, like the arena workers and stuff. I think that's amazing.
I think that is too. Hey, Uncle Rob, how's it going? Yeah,
Rob
I think
in the house, how you doing?
I think that's really good.
I think that's amazing. Like, how are they gonna make next month's rent? And you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it's something they don't have to worry about. And what do you think of that billionaire from China stepping up and showing not just Americans, showing the world, speaking of having resources, the guy's a billionaire, of stepping up where it originated and decided to help humanity. I think that's amazing. Like, I honestly,
I think that is too.
I think like that blows my mind. Like, what would make him even think about or worry about United States? Is it a business move? But then you're thinking, I hope not. Like me, I heard a majority of his business comes from the U.S., so it is a smart business move. But on the other hand, he's helping humanity, so I can't think too badly of it. I don't think.
If I was a billionaire, I'd personally do the same.
Exactly.
If I had money, I would be helping other people.
And I was reading on Twitter, somebody was saying about this specific story that he gets the majority of his business from the U.S. of course, and they're like, yeah, but he does business everywhere else, like Australia, other places. Like, he's shipping masks and tests all over the world, so he's not just doing it just for the U.S. So that blew that theory out of the water.
Yeah.
So the guy has good intentions, people. Let's
also,
get him for it. So what do you guys think in the chat? I want to know your opinions, Matt. You can read off what anybody thinks of anything so far we've talked about.
yes. Archer said, it's crazy, bro, that everything is getting canceled. That's what I think is devastating, too.
Yeah.
Archer said, I'm doing good, bro, Monster and Maddie. What about y'all? Great to see you guys. Doing good. Doing pretty good.
Excelente.
Walter, wrestling no crowd for Raw. Yeah, no crowds for...
No crowd for Tampa coming up.
Yep,
NXT Tampa.
WrestleMania.
And no crowd for WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, isn't that just going to be in like...
That makes me want to watch WrestleMania and stream it, because probably never in my lifetime... Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm probably jinxing it. I hope it's the last time, actually, that we're ever going to have to hear about that. I hope we get nothing this bad again that wipes out sports in general.
Oh, P. Diddy in the house. So you're telling me the coronavirus isn't just a hangover anymore? Remember to wash your hands often. Yes.
You should always wash your hands, even with a hangover.
Yeah. Hello, M.A. Ma J Z D. How's it going? What's on?
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for stopping by.
ZD, how's it going? We say Zed here in Canada, by the way. Not Z, we say Zed. ZD?
I always say Z. I don't know
You
why.
say Z?
It switched over. I'm a Gen Xer, so that sort of switched over halfway through when I started.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm an in-betweener on that one.
Wally, when I go outside, I wash my hands. When I go to work, yeah, whenever I get home from anywhere, the first thing I do is I wash my hands. This was just an automatic thing that I started doing. And then, well, now I'm in nursing, so we have to, this is what here, I'll tell you guys here. So, the World Health Organization has the 5 moments for hand hygiene, and as a nursing student, we have to abide by these, and a healthcare professional. The 5 moments for hand hygiene are before you touch a patient, before clean or aseptic procedures, after bodily fluid exposure or risk, after touching a patient, and after touching a patient's surroundings. So you have to wash your hands all the time already with that. And we also learn about, one thing that we learned a lot about in my program, I'm in my first year of nursing, by the way. I'm at the end of the first year here, and we always learn about the chain of infection. It's interesting. At the very beginning of the year, we learned about infection and how to prevent viruses from spreading and stuff like that. And then this happened. We were all like, oh, like.
Did I not predict when we discussed conspiracies and end of the world stuff, but 6 months ago, she's like, Dad, what do you think's gonna be the major thing that might end the world? She said famine, asteroids hitting Earth, locust, we named it all, earthquakes, and I said it's gonna be a virus, some sort of virus that we don't have the protection from, or a vaccine is gonna hurt us, and here we are. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Arthur, I always wash my hands. Yes. Wally, I watch movies now since sports is canceled. Yep, movies
Same
and
here.
Netflix a lot.
Blast music a lot. Do whatever makes you happy and gets you out of your funk, people.
Hello, Zeophobic 73 channel. How's it going? What's going on? But yeah, we learn about the chain of infection, which is basically a susceptible host, agent, reservoir, portal of exit, mode of transition, and portal of entry. And we always learn about how to break the chain in each of those areas. So basically with every single one, to stop the chain is to basically use hand hygiene.
Speaking of breaking the
Just
chain,
wash your
people, social, what do you call it? Stay away from people.
Social distancing.
Yeah, do it, people. I'm a natural at it. I'm a lone wolf, so I'm good at the social distancing. But anyway,
Yeah.
we won't get into that. But yeah, just think, it takes one person to stay away to stop the chain reaction from infecting others, right? And then it multiplying beyond our comprehension. Here's now I gave you guys a good feel-good story about this all, about the coronavirus. There are bad stories, and I'm gonna dig into one right here because it just makes you go, things that make you go, It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I really do.
Oh, is this what I think? Yeah.
Coronavirus patient refused to quarantine, so deputies are surrounding his house to force him. In Kentucky, I believe it is. NBA, better not be you, bro. NBA.
Yeah.
A novel coronavirus patient checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice. This is from CNN, if anybody's wondering. So to prevent him from spreading the virus, officials surrounded his house to keep him there. So, it's a 53-year-old man from Nelson County refused quarantine himself after testing positive for COVID-19. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said Nelson County officials forced an isolation on the man. One of the 20 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the state. It's a step I hope I never have to take, Beshear said. But I can't allow one person we know has the virus to refuse to protect their neighbors. Yeah. My problem with the whole thing is Okay, they have these deputies surrounding this dude's house because he's being a moron. Let's face it. Let's call it what he is. The guy's a moron, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much money is it costing the state? How much money is it costing the state to have these deputies sit out this guy's house 24 hours a day for 2 weeks?
Probably a lot.
What happens if there's an emergency? They need those deputies.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's taking up so much resources for selfishness. It really gets me angry. It really gets me angry.
Like, honestly, like, just, like, why is he so stubborn? Like, why won't he...
Stubborn. Stupid's the better word.
Yeah, stupid. That's true.
This beyond stubborn. Good God, people. Anybody saying anything in the chat?
I'm about to pull this up for you right now. Boom. Ow. Why did I say ow? I didn't even hit myself. There, that's probably better so you can see. There we go. You can just keep that up.
Yeah, the vaccine, as of Saturday when we're on Amy's stream, the vaccine, they contained the virus and was going to start trying to come up with a vaccination, which wasn't happening. But it is now. It's being tested in the U.S. People, one or I guess a couple test people are being tried for this vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
But it still could be a long way away, people. We could be looking at 6 months before we get an actual vaccine that works and is effective, and enough to call it a vaccine for the rest of the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows whatever country comes up with it first, I'm sure we'll share it. So, it's all good. We'll all work together on this to figure it out.
So, one little quick thing. So, they always say, don't touch your face. Don't, like, always keep performing hand hygiene. Everything like that, right?
Yep.
So, there was... half of the students were in the class, and my teacher said, okay, gonna do a little experiment here. When the other half of the class comes in, we're gonna have one of you guys, so this girl in the back was like, sure, and say, okay, count how many times people touch their face in the classroom. And the class was about 50 minutes, about a 50-minute class. And the amount of people that touched their face was over 300. It was like 321 or something like that.
Oh my
times
God.
that people touched their face in the classroom. And everybody looked and they were all horrified by how many times, because don't even realize that you're doing it a lot of the time. I don't even realize. I push up my glasses all the time.
I touch my face all the time, and but I realize it after the fact.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'd be dead.
I just did it.
Like, oh, well.
So guys, that map you see on our screen, it isn't real time, but it is real time as of it was updated earlier this morning.
It was updated at 16 Central.
Oh, 4 o'clock.
16 Central time.
Oh, Central.
Yeah.
I can't do the math for that. Anyway, that was updated today by the World Health Organization. Those are the actual numbers as of then. I'm sure it's like 3 hours ago I saw an actual live map and it was at 190,000. So.
Oh, what do you think of this? There are spring breakers who are going against the government's orders and still going to the beach, going to big parties, having huge
seen
gatherings.
In Florida that there's
yeah.
Was it Palm Beach, Florida?
I think so.
Palm
Yeah.
Beach. Yesterday, the news reported and showed them. I'm like,
beach was like packed.
Guys, you don't have to be worried about the sharks. Be worried about the freaking coronavirus because it's live and well, and you guys are like literally feet apart from each other. Like I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they think because they're in the fresh air, they're not going to get it. I don't know.
If someone comes up to you,
I don't know what the
like,
heck they're thinking, but they say stay away from
things.
50 or more people. Like that beach was packed.
Yeah, like that's insane.
I'm like, you guys are nuts. Good God.
Yeah, like
brutal.
Crazy.
Brutal stuff, guys. You have to stay safe. The only thing you can control is yourself and how you behave, and just be human and normal to people. right? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Be kind.
That's what it was. Spring breakers defy police orders and carry on partying on the beach in Florida.
There you go.
Yep, that was exactly South Beach, Florida.
South Beach. So
And Miami Beach.
So let's get into this. We'll move on. We'll go back to the coronavirus stuff in a bit. We're gonna break it up a bit here. I don't know what we said. Did you go put a line through everything we talked about?
Not yet. There's so much stuff.
I know we're plowing through the stuff here. We didn't
plan.
plan on being on too long. We're hoping like an hour and a half. You know, if you guys talk more, we'll be around more. It's up to you guys. But let's talk about boom shakalaka. Breaking big NFL news. The biggest news this year, let's face it. Tom Brady
Yeah.
is not going to be back with the New England Patriots. I'm just going to start here. My mind is freaking blown. I did not see this coming. I even made fun of people. I was the guy that made fun of people for even suggesting that he wouldn't be back. I'm like, are you crazy? He's going to finish off his career. They love him. He loves them. Like, everybody loves everybody. The big puke fest. I'm sure AMYAMOR is happy because I heard that they will... I heard a breaking news thing an hour ago from TMZ. Not from a football person, but one of the higher management people is sneaking news to TMZ. So it's not from a... Sorry. It didn't go to TMZ. It went from one of Brady's top management people to the sports dude to TMZ. So you're going to believe for what it is. But you've all heard the rumor. It's going to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think you will. Or they probably wouldn't be reporting it so much. I'm sure that makes Amy very, very happy. And good luck with that. I was thinking about this coronavirus. A lot of people are saying there's going to be like babies and stuff after 9 months because nothing else to do.
I seen it.
But I'm laughing. I'm like, that's the least of everybody's worries. You got to worry about, you know who's going to be really excited at the end of this? After this little quarantine and stuff? Divorce lawyers are going to be so happy because everybody's stuck in all the spouses stuck together in quarantine are like going to be hating and wanting to kill each other after 2.5, 3 weeks.
Facts. You're not wrong, though.
So
that's the thing.
It can go either way, though, or it can go a third way. I thought even worse. What happens if the couples get pregnant and then they get a divorce? Even worse.
Oh my gosh! Did they said they'd be called Cronelials or something like that? They were saying. I was like, oh my gosh, Cromonials.
So can you find the statement that Brady gave everybody?
Oh yes.
There was a Brady statement that I read from Twitter that he had to talk about.
So.
She'll just find it. Coronials, yeah, Rob said. This is from Thomas Brady.
I wanted to say thank you to all of the incredible fans and Patriots supporters. MA has been my home for 20 years. It has truly been the happiest 2 decades I could have envisioned in my life, and I have nothing but love and gratitude for my time in the New England Patriots. The support has been over. I wish every player can experience it. My children were born and raised here, and you will always embrace this California kid as your own. I love your commitment and loyalty to your teams, and winning for our city means more than you will ever know. I can't thank you enough for the support of our team, the packed training camps and sold-out stadiums, and mostly the victory parades. I have been so blessed to share them all with you. I tried to represent us always in the best and most honorable way, and I fought hard with my teammates to bring victory and triumph, even in the most dire situations. You opened your heart to me, and I opened my heart to you. And Pat's Nation will always be a part of me.
I'm gonna cry. Oh God, he's so good with his words.
I don't know what my football future holds, but it's time for me to open a new stage for my career. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll always love you and what we shared. A lifetime full of fun memories.
Truly. See you soon, AMYAMOR. He signed it, I believe.
Yep.
Something like that?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Something like, I'm sure. Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Homewrecker.
Oh.
guys, did I? Oh, I might
I like
have.
how we shade Amy when you.
I might have the corona. Well, she'll never hear this. Don't worry about it.
No. Love you, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Oh my God, there's so many stories out there. Another thing that I found out, J.J. Watt, defensive end, I believe, for the Texans, Houston Texans, right?
Yes.
Him and his wife, I believe, I'm assuming it's his wife. I could be wrong. I don't know. Have donated $350,000 to the Houston Food Bank. Speaking of food banks, our food banks here locally have closed down. They ran out of food. I'm not even joking. It's pretty bad here. Providing more than 1 million meals amid the coronavirus outbreak. So that's very good on him. I mean, if every athlete that's living La Vida Loca right now, living the good life, imagine if every athlete reached a little bit in their pockets and gave even $100,000 each. Like, what a difference they would make.
Oh yeah, 100%.
In feeding the public and everybody who supported them and bought their gear and bought tickets to see them and worshiped them pretty much as athletes. It's amazing. If once again, if they can financially do it, most can.
Right.
I think that's another feel-good story, and that's sports-related also, so double whammy for that one. Well, since we're still talking about NFL, we'll go to it. So there's changes from the new CBA. What do you guys think of the brand new 17-game regular season starting in 2021? This upcoming season, people. We've been asking for it. We've been wanting it for a long, long time. We're finally getting it. I'm so excited. The 17-game regular season. So we're going from 16 games to an extra game. I'm so excited for that.
I'm stoked.
I even said like 5 years ago, I'm like, I wish they would just get rid of the preseason games, like totally. There's usually 3. Like, get rid of the preseason games and just have all regular season. Make it a 19.
I think that would be good.
Make it a 19-week season. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, why not?
The player revenue share rise from 47% to 48.5%. So the players get a little more in their pockets from the share revenue. 14 teams make the playoffs, only 1 bye per conference starting in 2020. And players no longer suspended for positive tests for marijuana. Which
I think that's good.
Which is amazing, considering marijuana use is state-to-state law in the United States. It's based on each state individually. They get to make up their own decisions on the marijuana thing. Well,
yes.
Well, here in Canada, it is federal. It is across the board as of last year, not even a year now. Marijuana is legal. It is what it is. It's, I don't know. I don't have any opinion either way on it. To me, it's like cigarettes and alcohol. I don't use marijuana. I never have.
Oh, wow.
People that do, so be it. I say tax it and make money off of it.
Breaking news from CBC News. This is for Canada. Federal government set to announce $25 billion aid package to help Canadians through COVID-19 crisis.
As of when?
2 minutes ago.
Oh, wow. 18 billion?
25
25
billion.
billion. Wow. Well, not like they have a choice, because
Let's see what it says
everybody's
here.
financial world is crumbling here. Like
Yeah.
everywhere. It's the same.
2000 bid. Parliament could be recalled to pass emergency measures. Trudeau says crisis could last weeks or even months. The federal government is set to announce a massive aid package worth more than $25 billion to help Canadians and businesses get through the COVID-19 crisis. CBC News Radio Canada has learned. A senior government official told CBC News the package will be
done the same.
Delivered through existing safety net programs, including employment insurance and the Canadian Child Benefit.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
It's significant and comprehensive, the senior government official said. People need rent money and groceries.
Exactly.
Businesses need to bridge to better times.
Hopefully, see, that's the thing. They magically throw a number out there, and we gotta hope it's enough to make a difference initially. Because if it doesn't make a difference initially, then when they throw more money at it, we're just that further behind.
Yeah.
So, I wonder who comes up with these numbers, but it's better than doing nothing, right? Beggars can't be choosers, and
Oh yeah.
people have rent to pay, food, and yeah, it's a dire situation. So, the United States has done the same, I believe. Not Canada is more social, like we help our people more than America does. It is what it is. You guys know it. I hear everybody complaining all the time.
And yeah, Trudeau also announced. I seen on the
It's the Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah, Justin Trudeau's the Prime Minister of Canada, and he also said that they're gonna make it have more flexibility for the taxation year this year.
Oh yeah, I heard
for
that
people
too.
as well, being like, oh well, like we'll give you a little bit more like
A little
time,
more extra GST money
and stuff like that, as well for that.
Little bonus money to help ease the bump in the road we're all in. We're all in this together though. Hey Chris, welcome.
Yep, welcome.
Smash that thumbs up button. Anybody who hasn't already. Try to get us to 25 to 30 likes before we head on out of here. I don't know how long we've been on air.
I'm not sure either.
Not
I could
long.
find out.
Not long. Probably about 35 minutes. 40 minutes. 35. Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, about 30 minutes. Oh my foot. That's fine though.
So what's up,
But
Chris?
yeah. What's up, Chris?
What does everybody think about all this? Let us know what you guys think so we can share it.
Oh hi, Spacey. What you doing? This whole coronavirus thing is crazy. Yeah, because they said that it could be months and months until everything can get back to being quote unquote normal again. Because it's not like it's just like.
I don't like how they're throwing around numbers. Like, how do they really know? Like, people keep on asking, how long do you think it's going to take? Oh, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Like, how can they even begin until this thing, the curve, they call it, goes down and we get this thing leveled off? How can they even begin to guess? Because you can't compare yourself to China. You can't compare yourself to Italy. It's all different circumstances and the amount of health care and the prevention and, you know what I mean? It's like,
exactly.
It's like, to me, it's apples to oranges comparison. It just doesn't add up to me, and I don't think it's fair. Like, to say, oh, it's going to take 30 days. How do you know that? That's a nice number to calm down the public, but is that true? Probably not.
Right.
What can anything be done in 30 days, realistically? Not much.
And that's a sad truth, though. Like, it's not like.
I haven't heard of it.
Because if people just listen.
Yeah, God forbid. Wouldn't want
God
that.
forbid. If people listen, they do what the health officials are saying to do, like the World Health Organization, where they say self-isolate if you have to, and all this other stuff, like just wash your hands, don't touch your face, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Like, just listen to them, and then it can minimize the situation. But as the guy said, that's always with Donald Trump, the one with the glasses that you like.
Oh, the doctor. That
The
doctor's
doctor?
amazing.
Said
I believe everything out of his mouth. That's why I like him.
he said the problem isn't going to go away anytime soon. He
No,
said
that's
straight
not.
up. He's like, it's not going to go away anytime soon, but we can help, like, put kind of like a cap on it a little bit. Kind of what he was saying. Like, we can't completely stop it from spreading, but we can minimize the situation in ways by, like, just doing what the government says.
I wouldn't say overreacting now, dude. The number, I would say they're overreacting when the numbers even out and start going down. But as long as the numbers keep going up, I don't think it's overreacting. I really don't. But you have a right to your opinion.
I personally think some people are overreacting about it.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's panic, and those people shouldn't be panicking. I agree. There should be absolutely no hoarding, buying. There should be no panic. Like, people need to calm down a bit. I agree with that.
I just want toilet paper. like you
but
go every single.
I wouldn't say everybody's overreacting, but I don't think you're saying everybody's overreacting.
Oh, you just said people. Yeah, people are.
Yeah, there's a lot of people overreacting. I can get behind that.
But literally in our city, I was talking to people in my course. I was talking to other people, and they said.
But people should be concerned.
They said literally they went to every single store, business that sells toilet paper in our city with a population of 120,000 about. And every single store wiped clean of toilet paper, except for one store that's a local grocer on one side of town. Luckily on our side of town. But they're like continuing to restock the shelves, and they're starting to put limits on things.
That's happening everywhere now.
But that's happening everywhere
in
now.
Canada in general and the U.S.
Yeah.
Which is smart. It's about time. Yeah, I agree, Rob.
Oh, this is a good segue into the psychology behind panic buying.
Here's from CNN Health. Coronavirus, panic buyers are snatching up toilet paper. It's funny, one Australian paper went as far as printing 8 extra pages in a recent edition of their paper, so people can use it as toilet paper as it runs out. It's kind of genius.
Yeah. It actually is.
Number one reason people resort to extremes when they hear conflicting messages. This is psychology from CNN Health. A clinical psychologist and author of The Psychology of Pandemics, so there you go, he knows what he's talking about, which takes a historic look at how people behave and respond to pandemics. And yeah, it's just weird because apparently the number one reason they're saying people resort to extremes because they hear conflicting messages. Like one government will tell, like let's see, city level will tell, it's okay guys, everything's okay, and then you got like federal level people saying it's not going to be okay, and then like, you know what I mean, all different levels of government.
Like consistency.
Have conflicting messages, meaning one saying it's okay, the other one saying probably not. Yeah. So conflicting, like one not making them all not agreeing, is what reason number one why you hear people hoarding stuff and yeah. Not saying any of this is right, but this is the process.
Yeah.
I don't have this process. I don't hoard gazillion rolls of toilet paper. Some are reacting to the lack of clear direction from officials. Number two, several countries have already imposed mass quarantines. People are buying toilet paper and other household supplies, maybe preparing for the same thing in their city. A psychologist professor, Department of Engineering and Public Policy, Institute for Politics and Strategy at the Carnegie Mellon University. Unless people have seen official promises that everyone will be taken care of, they are left to guess and probability of needing extra toilet paper sooner than later. The fact that there are no official promises increase those probabilities of people hoarding. Reason three, panic buying begets panic buying. There you go. Right. Because then you think, oh my God, if I don't hurry up and get there, it's all going to be gone.
Right. So it's just kind of like a domino effect.
Right. There's one Joe Schmo saying, oh my God, I'm going to buy all the toilet paper. And the guy's like, what? You're buying all the toilet paper? I better grab some. So there you go.
Yeah.
That reason so far, number three, I can get behind. I understand. Yeah. I get that one. Because you're like, if I don't go now, it's all going to be freaking gone. Like there was Saturday in a grocery store here locally, the superstore. Somebody took a picture and posted it on Facebook. There was at least an hour lineup, it seemed, to even try to get in the door. Like
kind of like the Costco.
There was carts on the outside, like a lineup. I'm like, what the heck? Crazy stuff.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know they're saying this specific strain of coronavirus has been around for 10 years, roughly about 10 years. It's similar to SARS. Exactly. It's always been around. It always will be around.
Just like Ebola's still around.
Black Plague's still around.
Black Plague's still around.
Right. It's just not pandemic.
Right. Exactly. But it's... Oh my gosh.
So we'll go on to reason 4. It's natural to want to over-prepare. I get that too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Not on their level, but there may be some particularly up. Professor Temple University, former president of the American Psychological Association, with the CDC and other international health agencies, now advising that certain populations stay at home and avoid contact with other people or crowds. It's natural to want to prepare. The novel coronavirus, sort of survivalist psychology, yeah. Stock up on the essentials, and certainty includes toilet paper. After all, if we run out of toilet paper, we replace it with. Thank God in Canada, one of the major suppliers that make it came out publicly. The people that could profit the most from it, from shutting up, came out and said, we make toilet paper here in Canada. We have the paper, the pulp that makes, they said we have pretty much endless amount of pulp, which makes the toilet paper. Everybody stop overbuying toilet paper. You guys are nuts, because we're never going to run out. We're going to, as everybody buys it, they're just going to keep restocking the shelves. It might take, since people are hoarding it, it might take a week for them to fill the shelves, but they will be filled. So people in Canada, especially, calm down. We're going to have toilet paper. Like, seriously. Good
Oh my
God.
gosh. Uncle Rob, yeah, you're not psycho level. I will never make fun of you again. Like, literally, I'll be like,
She
Dad,
used to mock me too.
I'm like, Dad, we don't need
Dad,
more
we already
toilet
have 3 of them. I'm like, get one more.
Because it's not like we're gonna use it.
Right.
Like, right?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
not like something's gonna like expire within like.
People used to say I bought too much. I'm living quite comfortably right now.
Now I'm like, dang, I wish I would have got more.
But that's because I was raised with my grandmother. My grandmother was growing up in World War I, and then World War II came along, and they had a ration, right? So that's where I learned that mentality. I grew up in a household where nothing was wasted, and to be prepared. Lucia, there's Lucia. Great
Hey,
to
how's
see
it
you.
going?
How you doing? We're just yapping.
Oh, more news, breaking news. British Columbia now declares a public health emergency.
Okay, to the Americans, British Columbia is a province, which is like a state.
Yeah, it's the one that's south,
It's
north from Washington.
It's near Seattle, yeah, right. Seattle, Washington.
Near Seattle, Washington, yeah.
Reason 5, it allows some to feel a sense of control. The people who are stocking up on supplies are thinking about themselves and their family and what they need to do to prepare, not healthcare workers, sick people, or even regular folks who might run out of toilet paper sometime soon. It's all due to the wave of anxiety, which makes sense. People become anxious ahead of the actual infection. They haven't thought about the bigger picture, like what are the consequences of stockpiling so much toilet paper. But people can act out that way through fear and helpless situation. Depending on how people estimate the chances of needing the toilet paper, the hassle might be worth it, he said. It gave them the feeling that they've done everything they could. I guess it's peace of mind, like off their shoulders, like there, I'm home, I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. It's about peace of mind. I get that, right? And yeah, so that's it. There's psychological reasons why people hoard toilet paper and other stuff. I get it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Oh, nice. Awesome. We make our own bread. We have a bread maker. We'll just throw everything in.
yeah. Wasn't it Nanny's bread maker?
Yeah, it's
Aw.
my grandmother's bread maker. Bread machine. So there's the reasons why people do what they do. Everybody's wondering why the heck is this happening. Well, now we sort of know. It doesn't make it okay or but it lets us look in the window of their minds, right? I understood. I agreed with 2 out of the 5, so I guess I sort of get it.
I get it, because if something's running out and you're just like, oh well, though this person's buying all this, so I have to also get some too, like, right?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of coronavirus, since we're on the whole thing, CBC News was trying to check out, get a little glimpse, because everybody's asking, like, what do they even do to you for a virus test thing? I'm like, I don't have a clue, right?
Right.
And you're just learning. You're in first year nursing.
Mm-hmm.
First year out of 4. So here's an inside view of the testing process. For this specifically, the process begins with initial screening covering the patient's symptoms and recent travel history, which we already knew. Everybody knew that. And then if the screener is positive, a nurse will perform a brief exam, including testing blood pressure. That information is passed on to a doctor the next step. And that's when the doctor will make a decision to swab or not to swab COVID-19.
Testing blood pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, that makes sense, because respiratory goes with circulatory.
But they're saying, with that information passed on to the doctor, that's when he makes a decision to swab or not to swab. And results take approximately 24 hours. I bet you it depends where you live. I wouldn't count on that. Preston, how you doing? He makes his own pizza. Boom, shakalaka.
Yes.
P. Diddy in the house. How you doing?
Diddy. I got a bread maker too. It's like that rustic, no-turn sourdough stuff. Me being a fat kid at heart.
Where am I here? It's important to know where your designated test site is located. Ours is located we have a brand new hospital, but it's jam-packed already before this. They have 2 big trailers they put on the outside now, that when you go to the hospital, you do your screening process. If you think you got the COVID symptoms, you do the screening process on the outside. There's a trained nurses to deal with just that.
Oh, wow.
And then they determine if you're going inside to get extra testing and stuff.
Yeah, for
which is
me,
good, because it doesn't congest what the emergency's for in the first place. Emergencies.
For me, I had my clinical placement at a nursing home here in our city, and we all went to go in, the students, and they said, oh, like, no students are allowed in, whatever. And then we find out from a higher up that yes, the students are allowed in, whatever. So we did the screening process, and basically just you did a survey on your phone, on your device. And basically it was just like, oh, have you been in contact with anybody with COVID? Do you have a fever, cough?
Oh yeah, you had to go through the initial
anything like that.
Screening.
And then they just ask you a bunch of questions, and then it shows up on your screen either green, yes, you are safe, or red, no, you must go home.
Really?
Like, no, like, you can't. So your screen will show up.
Really?
It's like, oh, you answered no to all these questions, so you are safe. And it says safe in big letters.
Wow.
And then I tried to leave, so they wouldn't let us into the nursing home, and then I couldn't leave because there was a code red, which means fire. But there was no fire. It was just false alarm. But
Yeah, Preston, totally. I agree. Exactly. And people need to learn how to make do, right? Like, that's why I stock up. I've always stocked up, and everybody made fun of me, but it's a chef thing. I always had a lot of pantry stuff that I can grab 3 or 4 things and just make something quick or create something quick. Totally. And one of the things people were talking about for emergencies that a lot of people overlook, everybody goes and buys up all the bread and there's no bread left and there's bread panic. Apparently one of the best carbs for you that's going to last a year, hello people, go buy rice. Rice is the carb. Rice is the carb you want to go buy. A doctor that was going around a grocery store I seen yesterday, he was suggesting things what you should buy at the grocery store. And that's one of them. So it makes sense, right?
all my favorite foods have to do with rice or pasta, so basically all carbs are my favorite foods. Anything with carbs.
Yeah, I don't agree with the panic thing, but concern. There's obviously concern. When there's more deaths and more cases, that's concern. It just makes our probability of getting something worse, right?
Oh, and listen to this now. Now this kind of, I wasn't really panicking per se.
I'm not panicking.
And I'm still not panicking.
I'm concerned.
But it made me more concerned because as Trudeau today, Justin Trudeau, our Prime Minister of Canada, was giving his speech, a breaking news thing showed up on the side, and I was like, huh, and it says, Ontario reports first virus-related death. Man in his 70s was a patient at a hospital in Barrie, which is in southern Ontario.
Near Toronto.
Near Toronto area. Now listen to this. The man who
this is
died.
scary. Listen to this, people. This is big breaking news that I don't know if Americans know, but this is directly from our Healthcare Canada, our Minister of Health. She is from the city that we live in. So this is legit, people. This is a real information coming out. This is something big. Listen.
The man in his 70s, who was the first reported virus-related death in Ontario, did not test positive before his death. So he died, and then they found out later.
And then they tested him in the autopsy or to find out his cause of death or whatever. I'm assuming it's the autopsy. Or they found out when the test came back after his death.
So
he had coronavirus.
He died from coronavirus, our very first death in Ontario. And he did not test positive.
Which Ontario is like a state to you guys?
And he did not test positive.
Let that soak in. Let that sink in. That's the part when I started becoming concerned. I'm like, so you can die from it. Not having, he must have had symptoms, but the test didn't come back in time. Like, he
didn't test positive.
Yeah, sorry. They did come back in time. He didn't test positive.
Yeah. He got tested. He didn't even test positive, and then boom, he died because of coronavirus.
So that's really scary.
That freaked me out. I was like, oh, like.
I hope they look more into that because that's freaky.
What went wrong? That's what they need to figure out. Like, what went wrong with the test, or was he exposed to it afterwards? Like, how did it go down?
Yeah, but Chris, it doesn't matter. The test came back after he had coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yes, he could have been a high profile person that would have died anyway, like with the high blood pressure, diabetes, like you said, his health. He was a 70-year-old man. He could have had a lot going on. But it came back. He did die from coronavirus after he died. Like, when he got tested for it when he was alive, it came back negative. He didn't have it. So they didn't find out he had coronavirus till he died after the fact. That's scary. Like, that blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how and why, but it's a thing.
Yeah, the high-risk populations are like vulnerable populations, stuff like that. So here in Canada, we have a lot of First Nations here. So individuals who are Aboriginal, who are Indigenous, right? And they are at a higher risk. They're a vulnerable population. Individuals who have diabetes, who have undergone chemotherapy, high blood pressure, heart problems,
lung problems, obviously.
Lung problems, immune deficiencies, anything like that, you're at a higher risk for getting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard anywhere from 1% to 3% it kills. The Black Plague, when it came out, that's why it's not considered like a Black Plague or as bad. Black Plague's mortality percentage is 50%. So yeah. 50% died. But back then, things were a lot dirtier and they didn't have the health care and the medicine also, right?
This one's apparently at 5%, is what I've seen on
last
Dr.
time I heard
Phil
it was between 1 and 3. If you heard 5, you heard something new.
I heard 5 on Dr. Phil today.
I haven't heard that. So it could be because the numbers keep going up. So.
Oh, sorry. It was if you get it, you have a 5% chance of dying.
Oh,
not a 5% chance of getting it, a 5% chance
and
of dying.
Then I heard Trump's doctor, the one that told it how it is, said 10%.
Oh, great.
So what one is it?
Well, it must be the the doctor said.
I would believe
I'd believe the doctor.
I believe the doctor beside Trump because he was talking to Congress like by himself before he was next to Trump. So there's a 10% more death rate. Sorry, you're 10 times more likely to die from it than the common flu, than the H1N1 virus.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Make sure I get my facts straight here. But yeah, our airport's open also.
Yeah, same here.
Every airport in America is open, I believe. I don't think any airport's closed, Wally.
I haven't heard anything about.
No airport.
Oh, because that's what Chris was saying earlier
What
about airports being closed.
Oh, there's airports closed.
But I know that I don't know about that, but I know that there are airports doing extra screenings and stuff like that. But according to an interview with these two people who came from Italy to New York, the screening process was very minimal in Italy as well as going to New York. The screening process was pretty minimal. It wasn't anything that was too like advanced. Like it was basically just like what I went through, where it's just like, oh, have you been near somebody with COVID? Do you feel sick? Basically.
And our international, like the States, the international borders, flights are now not allowed in Canada. Outside, domestic flights are allowed back and forth, and we're allowed back and forth in each other's countries, U.S. and Canada, as of now, for now anyway. But all international flights are canceled into Canada, except if you're a Canadian citizen. If you're a Canadian citizen, you can come back home, but they'll test you and screen you and put you away for 2 weeks if they have to. Hey, Greg.
RC, how's it going, RC?
RC's in the house.
RC's in the house. Mythic.
That a boy.
Mythic Legends.
RC has Bud Light virus. There you go.
Oh, geez. Oh. Yeah, like, basically the government said if you're a business that's not like essential, basically. So if you're not a grocery store, pharmacy, whatever, just shut down. So like any local bakeries would be shut down.
I think America has
everything.
like, wasn't it 7,000 to 9,000 deaths so far?
Pardon?
In America, isn't it 7,000 to 9,000 deaths total? You should see on the map there. If you clicked on it, is your map live? You should be able to click on US and I'll tell you. No, I won't tell you deaths though. Sorry, it'll just tell you cases.
Yeah.
I think I read.
I'll show you deaths too. Here, I'll look it up.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know that number. I'm just throwing that number out. I heard that number. I don't know. Like 100 deaths? Oh, there you go.
7,000 deaths worldwide.
Oh, okay. I was thinking worldwide. That was the number I heard.
Yeah.
So I think it was 7 to 8
7.5.
was the cases total, I think, in America. That's what it was.
I think it was like over 4,000.
Yeah, well, that makes total sense because there's only been 5 deaths in Canada total. So that makes total sense.
Yeah.
There's only 5 deaths in Canada as of today. So that makes total sense. Yeah, I'm trying to... Do you guys know the total amount of cases in the States? The total amount of cases in Canada is under 500. It was like at 460 something earlier today. So it's under 500 right now. Can you guys find out the total amount of cases in the U.S.? That must have been the number I was thinking about. Yeah, isn't there something like 80,000 people infected in China?
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah, grocery stores are open here too. All essentials are open. Businesses. Speaking of businesses, Shoppers Drug Mart, it's like a pharmacy here. You know, you can go buy grocery items too and stuff.
Basically a Walgreens.
Yeah, basically a Walgreens.
Yeah. With
a little more food. Unless, does Walgreens have food? You guys tell me, does Walgreens have food? I don't know. I don't remember it having food. Maybe it does now. And I heard other grocery stores, I seen it in the States anyway, some grocery stores are doing it. They're allowing the first opening hour to be devoted to people with disabilities and needing assistance. And senior citizens can go the first hour so they're not trampled by a bunch of morons trying to overbuy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. That was the number I heard. Thank you. See, it's 75. I thought it was like 78, 75 in the U.S. total. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Only 26. Yeah, that's a good. I don't know how many's been tested here, local. I mean, in Canada. I think it's got to be more than 26. I don't know, but once again, I'm assuming. I don't know how many have actually been tested in Canada. They seem to be testing more, a lot here. And that's another scary little aspect in all this, right, guys? Is the fact of who hasn't been tested and who's walking around with it, giving it to a person, then before you know it, 100 people have it. Like, it's just scary. There are 103 deaths in the U.S., 5 today for Canada. Not today, but 5 total. I mean, 5 as of today. 4 in British Columbia, which is near Washington State, and that's right across from it. And Ontario, the province I live in, we had our first death today, so that's 5 total. Scary stuff. But anyway, like I said, I think it's really cool that businesses are allowing people with who need assistance and disabilities and stuff, and older people, not to get trampled by the morons. I think that's great business sense, and it's just good humanity. You know what I mean? Like, God, we're losing the human part in all this. It's kind of sad. There's a lot of good stories, but then there's stories like this. Ready for this one? Man who hoarded hand sanitizer for profit donates his supplies after authorities get involved. Wow. Like a New York Times piece about a price gouging during COVID-19 pandemic put Matt Colvin at the center of some serious backlash when he revealed that he cleaned out several stores' inventory of hand sanitizer to resell as profit. Online retailers banned him from using their services, and the state attorney general opened an investigation. In response, the AG coordinated with Colvin to take the supply of sanitizer and redistribute it for free amongst the community. So he got caught with his pants down. They made him redistribute it for free throughout the community.
People were selling hand sanitizer online for $80.
Like, we're talking like locally, too. There's people selling toilet paper and stuff like that.
There was somebody selling toilet paper, a roll of toilet paper for $100 on our buy and sell site for our city.
Yeah, welcome to the middle of Canada. Everybody thinks we're all so nice here.
Well, and also,
it's cute.
Think about what's the next biggest city close to us, right? Like,
yeah, so that's true. There's not.
We're pretty.
We are the. If you want to look at it this way, we are the capital of northwestern Ontario. There's tons of little communities all around us, and if they want to go to the big city, they head to Thunder Bay. Basically,
Yeah.
We are the big city, which is pathetic and sad.
Yeah.
Only about 115,000 people.
But
we are like the hub. Is the best word.
Yeah.
The hub where all the little communities come for doctor's appointments, dentists,
Yeah.
specialists, grocery shopping, malls.
Shopping malls, I all come here.
Yeah, so entertainment stuff. Interesting stuff. I just can't believe all these stories I found, like, in like the last 3 days that we're going through. It's just, there's a lot of great stories and there's a lot of bad stories. It's kind of disheartening and cool all at once. I think we don't have too much left to go through, I don't believe. Do we?
On the list here, we have the Columbus, Ohio Coaches Bargains Girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here it is. Coaches Bar and Grill in Columbus, Ohio would be rumbling with customers, but this Sunday, the staff of the popular sports gathered around the TV, standing aghast. Government Mike DeWine ordered all restaurants and bars in the state to be closed to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus. As thoughts of how will I make next month's rent, how will I provide for my family, went through the minds of the wait staff, and after they served a customer, their one last foreseeable future, in ordering a beer and some food, the customer check came out to be just under $30. But after he left, the spirits of the owner, Patrick Benny Leonard, and his staff were uplifted immediately after seeing the tip he had left. The amount of the tip was a whopping $2,500. He put, please split this tab equally between Tara, Nikki, Jim, Liz, and Aaron. The check read. There were tears of joy among everyone, Leonard told CNN. On the day, I've never seen a shutdown like that, and I've never seen a tip like that either. So there are good people out there. There are people that are shining in the darkness, and gives you a little hope, right? I think we can all be a little kinder and nicer to each other during these times, and phone your elderly neighbors, make sure they're okay, go check on them, bang on their door, see if they need a grocery run, check on your grandparents, your parents, if they're elderly or sick. Just step up a little bit. A little bit makes such a huge difference. It makes people feel like they're cared for. It's just, come on, people. Just little things, seriously. We can all make little differences to make the world a better place. If we all did our little part, we'll all get through this together, and we're not going to laugh about it after, but we'll be like, wow, we did it.
Yeah.
Take a breath.
People were...
And wait for the next thing, because there will be.
People were, like, saying, like, it's weird to be living in a moment where, like, textbook history is going down. They said it's weird to be actually living it, like, actually being in it. Because, like, when you're, like, if anything did happen, like, 9/11 is, like, textbook history, but, like, I obviously was just born for that.
Yeah, but that didn't affect us the way this is affecting. It's a terrorist attack, but still, yeah, it affected us just in a whole different way.
Yeah.
But it didn't affect the economy too much. It didn't really affect
the
jobs and surviving.
The
maybe temporarily, but not for long.
The economy is, like, the stock markets and stuff are down. What do they say? It's the lowest it's been since when?
82 or 87. I don't know.
87?
Don't quote me on that. Something like that.
But, like,
and they're talking about
gosh.
Canada might be in a recession after this. Then I heard today the experts are saying Canada won't be in a recession. Then I heard today Trump on there saying U.S. will be in a recession. I don't know. Who knows? We just have to get through this virus thing first, and we'll figure that all out after, right?
Yeah, literally, Trump yesterday, I heard him say it, and I was like, did he just say what I think he just... No, he didn't. And then, but I mean, he was honest about it. He said, yeah, basically, he was like, no, we don't have Corona under control. I was like, oh. He just blatantly said, no. He's like, the virus? No, we don't have that under control. I was like...
Which I'm shocked he didn't lie. Wow, that's impressive.
Like, no, we don't have that under control. I was like, oh, well.
That's impressive. Let's face it. And I watched him on a press thing yesterday, and they asked him a medical question, and he's like, here, let me pass you on to the professional. I'm like, what? I'm like, did he just say, let me pass you on to the professional?
Yeah.
I'm like, is this like Donald Trump? What did you guys do with Donald Trump?
Or like...
Because he'd do something, everything's going to be wonderful. Everything's going to be great. Yes, wonderful. Nobody's going to die.
Oh, yeah. What were we both saying? And even you said it when he had when it was like, oh, Trump wanted to have like some time to like address the country or whatever, and he was sitting down at his desk reading off of the teleprompter or whatever.
Yeah, that was impressive too. He actually stuck when he was giving a State of the Union address thing about when this came out. He was sitting at his desk and he actually read off the teleprompter and read exactly what was going down. That was impressive. Like he didn't go off script. He didn't write the speech. Obviously, they all have speech writers, so it's nothing. But he didn't go off the wall, and that was quite impressive. Mm-hmm. So I think we went through everything. Yeah,
I'll see if there's anything new just recently.
Any breaking news before we head on out?
Any breaking news at all?
I thought I would never, ever see Tom Brady go to another team. My mind's blown just...
Oh, me neither.
I never thought Tom Brady... I would have lost that bet big time. we wanted to be on about an hour to an hour and a half, and we did it. So she's gonna just check in any last minute breaking news.
What's this? 10 hours ago. I seen this, but I wanted to read this article actually. So why not do it here? If it will load. It's basically COVID-19. How long does the coronavirus last on surfaces? Because
somebody asked that on Amy's stream on Saturday, and nobody really knew the answer.
So we can pick up the COVID-19 by touching surfaces contaminated with the new coronavirus, but it's only just becoming clearer how long the virus can survive outside of the human body. COVID-19 is spread. I'm just going to quickly glance over it. Yeah, people are like rubbing down their desks every morning and everything like that. Many respiratory viruses, including flu, COVID-19 can be spread in tiny droplets released from the nose and mouth of an infected person as they cough. Remember, it's not airborne, it's droplet.
Oh, that's good.
As well. I
What
read
do you mean
that.
as well? Is it airborne or not airborne?
It's not airborne. It's droplet. So, like, someone has to, like... Well, obviously, if someone goes and, like, breathes into your mouth, there's, like, little spit particles that would come out. But, like... a single cough can produce up to 3,000 droplets. These particles can land on other people, clothing, and surfaces around them, but some of the smaller particles can remain in the air. Oh, now it's saying that. What?
So it's both droplet and airborne.
So now it's saying both. Earlier studies were saying that it was only droplet.
Wow.
There is also some evidence that the virus is also shed for longer in fecal matter, so anyone not washing their hands thoroughly after visiting the toilet can contaminate anything they touch, as well as you also get E. coli. Please wash your hands if you poop, please. Please. All right, one aspect
Hi, Anne. How you doing? Welcome.
can survive outside the human body. Some studies on other coronaviruses, including SARS and MERS, found they could survive on metal, glass, and plastic for as long as 9 days unless they are properly disinfected. Some can even hang up to around 28 days in low temperatures.
So 28 days in low temperatures on surfaces. A month on surfaces.
Coronaviruses are well known to be particularly resilient in terms of where they can survive, and researchers are now beginning to understand more about how this affects the spread of the new coronavirus.
Yeah, it won't linger in the air that long, though. Not as long as on the surface.
Their study on SARS, which
So,
they're
wait,
comparing a lot of stuff
wait.
to SARS.
They said 9 days to 28 days on surfaces.
9 days or 28 days in surfaces on low temperatures.
Wow.
And that's them comparing it with SARS as well. The researchers did find, however, that copper surfaces tend to kill the virus in about 4 hours.
What does?
Copper.
Copper.
I wonder why. Probably because of some kind of chemical reaction. There's a speedier option. Researchers have shown that the coronaviruses can be inactivated within a minute by disinfecting surfaces with 62 to 71% alcohol or 0.5% hydrogen peroxide bleach or household bleach containing 0.1% sodium hypochlorite. Higher temperatures and humidity also tend to result in other coronaviruses dying quicker, although research has shown that a related coronavirus that causes SARS could be killed by temperatures above 56 degrees Celsius or 132 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than a bath, but scalding enough to cause injury, a rate of about 10,000 viral particles every 15 minutes.
Yeah, bleach can kill almost anything.
So they're saying basically can live up to some surfaces for like about 9 days because they're comparing it to SARS and MERS.
Oh.
When they say that, but here it's not really saying a definitive like answer for like this is for the coronavirus. They're comparing it to SARS and MERS.
And I'm letting everybody know, I know it's a little off topic, but I'm going to say it while I can. Wrestling's canceled for this Thursday. She'll do another gaming stream Friday, and then we are off here for 7 days. We're taking a break. I won't be on social media or other people's streams much. Just giving you a heads up. Let's take a little breather. That's it.
Oh,
Okay, what else?
there's this one too. So it's saying why we're seeing some severe COVID-19 cases among younger people. They could come down with a severe case of the disease caused by the novel coronavirus, but it's less likely. So they're just talking about how people who are younger are tending to get like the worst of it, I guess. So like a lot of underlying health conditions
Which we already
that
knew.
people have
Which we already knew.
can make you vulnerable to having it, to contracting it. But basically they're just saying like, yeah, like Alberta, like basically the provinces, like the states of Canada, are all declaring a public health emergency.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Is basically what they're all doing. So, but that's the thing is that what did Trump say that he did with all the pandemic people? He laid off a bunch of pandemic people or something like that.
I missed that part. I'd be lying if I said.
Because he said in a interview that there was a bunch of people who work specifically on pandemics that were let go to save money.
Oh, you're talking about like a year ago or whatever. A year ago there was a team of people that specifically a team to help fight viruses or that kind of thing, and he said he was gonna not fire them, but let them go. He said, "I'm a businessman. I don't like people standing around, not working if they're not needed, and we can get a hold of them quickly if we need them." So yeah, and he blames Obama into it, but I don't want to get too political. That's all I know. I'm gonna leave that there. You guys do what you want with that.
Oh, now they're saying. Okay, so earlier we were talking about the first Ontario death of the coronavirus, and when they first put it out, they put that he was tested positive after his death, right? Mm-hmm. So he said, it says here on Global News, Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre announced Tuesday that a man in his 70s who died on March 11th has tested positive for COVID-19. The man wasn't listed as a confirmed case of COVID-19 when he died, but was in close contact with a positive case that visited Barrie from Alberta. An autopsy is going to be done on the body to determine if the man died because of COVID-19 or due to another unrelated reason. So they're trying to figure out, did he die from corona or did he die because of another reason, but it just happened that he tested positive for corona. So they're going to be doing 77-year-old Barrie man. Oh my gosh. So yeah, they don't know 1,000% corona is what caused it, but he did test positive after his death for corona.
Well, guys, I think that's going to be the end of our first show. If you guys have anything to add, now or never is the time. I'll give you a minute. That was interesting. And we started this way back. We started this Mr. Monster's Neighborhood, but we had it through StreamYard. And then we sort of let it go for a while. We're going to try to do this. Her and I have committed to doing one a month, so we'll probably just do one a month. We're going to pick articles, sports, world stuff, wrestling, food stuff. We are sports and entertainment. That's going to be the entertainment part of things. And whatever interests us, hopefully it interests you and you guys listen to us and hang out for a while. I want to do about an hour and a half for an episode, and we're close enough. I'm good enough to go. And we discussed a lot in that hour and a half. A lot. Yes. We got lots accomplished and interesting. So thank you all for tuning in, and hit us with what we had on the way in. Before she does that, before we say goodbye, let me leave you guys with one last thought. I'm gonna try to do this every episode. We're gonna try to do, like I said, 1 to 2 streams like this a month. Probably only one. Let's face it. Between your sports streams, probably only one. If we do 2, it's a bonus. Everything will work out in the end. You don't need to know how. You just have to trust that it will. Take care of each other. Bye, everybody.
A beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I hope I get to move in your neighborhood someday. The problem is when I move in, y'all move away. Come on up with some coke and some smoke. You bring the stash, cause Robinson broke. Will you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I am still your neighbor. Hi, boys and girls.